Hello class. In today's video I'm going to be discussing the topic of addiction. First I'm going to be laying out sort of the two general approaches to addiction, disease and choice, that are found in sort of secular circles, and then I'm going to be providing an alternative solution. The larger argument for this is found in a book by Kent Dennington, a former GC professor. The name of the book is called Addiction and Virtue. So I'm just going to be sort of summarizing that argument here and showing how resources found mainly in Aquinas help us to make sense of this tricky issue. Because addiction really raises questions about free will. If someone is addicted, do they really have the ability to stop what they're doing? Are they culpable for the choices that they make in sort of their addicted state? So the two main approaches that I want to say are problematic are disease and choice. So the disease model of addiction says that addiction is something like getting a cold. Once you have it, there's really nothing that you can do about it. There's maybe medication that you can take, ways of altering your brain chemistry, but ultimately an addicted person isn't in control of their actions, so we can't hold them morally responsible for the things that they do. We need to treat them the same way that we would a sick person. Now I think that this disease model is problematic because we should have the ability to say that addicted persons shouldn't do some of the things that they do. I think that we are moral agents as humans, and that we have our free will. We have the ability to choose right and wrong. That seems to be consistent with what we find in the Bible. On the other hand, though, there is the choice model, which says essentially that addicted people are just bad people. They have weak wills and they consistently choose the wrong thing. And this doesn't seem to hold up to the evidence. If you have talked to an addicted person or read memoirs by addicted people, they'll often say that they didn't feel like they had control over their actions. They really wanted to stop smoking or doing drugs or drinking or whatever it might be, but they felt like they couldn't, that it wasn't in their power to do so. So it seems unfair to addicted people to say that they're just bad people, that they're just consistently making wrong choices. So I want to now go into the third option, the one presented by Dr. Dennington, and show how that sort of helps us to alleviate some of the problems that are found in the disease and choice models. The solution proposed by Dr. Dennington as an alternative to the choice and disease models is the model of habit. So to get a better idea of what a habit is, I'm going to be contrasting it with instinct and free action. So instincts are something that happens automatically, like blinking your eyes, can be changed via classical conditioning. Those of you, I think there are several psychology majors in here, certainly familiar with Pavlov and his dogs getting them to salivate when ringing a bell. That's classical conditioning. It's not free, and instinct doesn't really require mental effort. You just do it without exerting your will. On the other hand, free action requires a lot of will and deliberation, and requires a lot of mental effort, but that can easily be changed just by changing your mind. That's what makes it free. So a lot of our actions are free when we have the time to sit down and think about something and make a decision. Usually that would be referred to as a free action. So something in between is an action based on habit. Habits can be changed, but they require a lot of effort to change. So they're in our power, but it requires little effort to go along with them. And we rely on habits every day because we don't have the mental energy to freely choose all of our actions. If we were sort of keeping in our head all of the things that we were doing at any given time, we couldn't focus enough to really accomplish anything. At any given time, we're doing a bunch of different stuff at once. So habit is what explains sort of our ability to navigate the world. That to go along with it requires little mental effort, but we're still in control of it in some way. We still form the habit in some fashion by doing something over and over again, and we can change it. So this helps to alleviate the two problems with the choice and disease model. On the one hand, if we call addiction a habit, we can say that it truly is very difficult for them to change, for an addict to change their behavior, because they form these habits and they're deeply ingrained habits. On the other hand, they do have some control over their actions. It's not as if some foreign thing has entered their body, such as a disease, and is causing them to do these things that are bad for them. So we can both maintain culpability, meaning that we can say they are doing something wrong, while at the same time not just saying, oh, they're just a bad person. We can say that they're a person who's made some mistakes and now is in a difficult situation that maybe requires our help. So I hope that this helps us to get a better idea of what free will is, what's involved in making our choices, and how we can think about those people that are addicted, because that is a growing concern in America. As you saw with the opioid addiction video that you hopefully watched before this, that is a major crisis in America. And beyond that, there are other kinds of addictions. Arguably, you can be addicted to various electronic things. There's also a growing concern with sugar in our foods, and that could be an addiction. So this is something that I think will become more prominent in the days to come, and something that we should be aware of and have the tools to deal with as Christians.